party. I am. Yeah. Fiesta. Tequila. That's right. Oh, it's so jazzy, isn't it? It's so very jazzy, darling. It really is. I'm feeling a little bit jazzy today. And I'm very glad you're all here. Because it's time for the show, darling. It is. Come out, amigo. Fiesta. Oh, yes. I'm having a good time all by myself here today in the glittery bunker. And thank you all for coming along and tuning in to a very, very special episode of Let's Learn Stuff!
If you're stuck inside and you need some fun, she's the grande dame of getting it done.
Let's learn stuff!
With Victoria Sautee.
Well, hello there and welcome to the glittery bunker. I hope you're in the mood to party because I sure am. There's so many things going on here in the glittery bunker today. There is. One of them is the Great Give. It's a 36-hour online fundraising campaign to help Pantacino and our little show and keep us broadcasting for years to come. You can head on over to pantacino.com after the show and make your donation, no matter how big or small. But never mind the great gift for now. We're here to learn stuff, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Today is Cinco de Mayo. That's the 5th of May, darling, and let's learn stuff about that. Our word of the day is fiesta, and that means party, and I just want to party all the time. I do, love, I really do. So now, Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day as some people think it is. No, Cinco de Mayo is all about the Battle of Pueblo. You see, the Battle of Pueblo was in 1862 when French troops invaded Mexico. They did. And even though the Mexican troops were outnumbered, they were outnumbered. The Mexicans won the war, and it is known as the Battle of Pueblo. That's right, darling, it is. Now, these days, we think of Cinco de Mayo more as a celebration, a fiesta. It's a cultural celebration of Mexican heritage, much the way we celebrate, St. Patrick's Day or Oktoberfest or Chinese New Year. We celebrate with the culture of Mexico, the music, the dance. And this holiday became a staple here in the United States in the 1980s. Now, the biggest celebration of them all takes place every year in Los Angeles when 600,000 people, there I am, 600,000 people attend. Look at that. That's amazing. It's called the Fiesta Broadway, of all things. That's what it's called. And there they are again. Did you know that each year on 81 million avocados are consumed every year? They're consumed every year on Cinco de Mayo alone. The 81 million avocados. That's a lot of avocados, darling. It really is. Now, let's take a little tour of Mexico, shall we? I think that would be a lovely thing to do. Let's see what we can find. Here's a lovely little village. This is the village of Pueblo. It is. This is where Cinco de Mayo started. Isn't that lovely? And here we have Puerto Vallarta. If you're ever on a game show, you may have won a trip to Puerto Vallarta, darling. You have. There's Acapulco. Isn't that lovely? Yes, it is. And here we are in Cancun. That's what that is. That's what that line of hotels is there. Yes. And of course, you've always heard of Tijuana. Look, it looks like they're in the middle of a fiesta right there, it does. And here is Guanajuato. Isn't that festive and fancy? It is. And here's a lovely place called Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza is a temple. That's right. It is the temple of Cucalancha. That's right. And it was built by the Mayan civilization. Now, underneath this pyramid, do you believe it? There's another pyramid. Look at that. How did they fit it? Now, interesting thing about the pyramid of Chichen Itza is that twice a year, shadows fall. Yes, you see how the pyramid has those little ledges? Well, when the shadows fall, it looks to be a feathered serpent. Isn't that interesting, eh? A feathered serpent. Oh, yes. Well, who's out there today? Well, John's out there. Hello. Thanks for smiling along, John. And here's Jeriel. She's there. And oh, happy Cinco de Mayo to you, Rochelle. Oh, yes, those avocados, Jeriel. And Hope loves sombreros. Isn't that wonderful? Hope loves it. There I am. Hope loves sombreros. There's a sombrero for you, Hope. There you go. Now, we can't talk about Mexico without learning stuff about the food and drink there. That's right. It's a fiesta. It's a party. And we have to celebrate. And one way to celebrate is with food, darling. That's right. Now, most people don't know the difference between a taco and a burrito. That's right, but let's learn what that is. Now, a taco is a snack. It's lighter. It comes soft or hard, but it's sort of a snack. And the women used to bring these little taco snacks to their husbands working wherever they worked. And now a burrito. There's the burrito. The burrito is much larger than the taco. The burrito. The burrito is heavy. It means heavy. It's always served in a soft shell. That's right, it is. And here is the another cousin. There is the enchilada. Now, an enchilada is fried in oil and it's stuffed with meat, and it often has two sauces: a red one and a green one, a rojo and a verde. That's right. And of course, their second cousin is the chimichanga. Yes, look at that, which is a deep fried cousin of the burrito. And we can't talk about Mexican cuisine without talking about all of their cousins, the tostado, which is a deep-fried corn tortilla. Yes, that's right. There it is. It is. I'm having trouble with all my little images today, aren't I? But I'll tell you one thing. All of this talk about food is making me so very hungry. It is. And I think the best thing that we could do is to head on over to one of my favorite spots when I get hungry for some Mexican cuisine, or any cuisine for that matter. And that's our friends at Joey C's Roadhouse in Milford. Let's head on over there right now and say hello to our friends there. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
We can't fit.
There you are.
Hats. Oh,
Joey and Anya, thank you for joining us. Hello. Tell us.
We'll take turns.
Right, that's very fair. And did you see I'm wearing a little sombrero myself?
Oh, very cute.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you. So tell us all about Joey C's. How long have you been out there in Milford?
Well, we're going 11 years almost.
Well, wonderful. And how did you get started in the restaurant business? For those young people who want to know how to make a splash the way you do.
Oh.
You first, Anya.
Oh well,
Ladies
where do we begin? Well, we both have separate backgrounds in cooking. I used to own a natural food stores called Sprouts in Trumbull and Fairfield. So I'm a natural foods chef, and Joey was a customer back then.
Ah.
And he's been all over California, New York, everywhere cooking traditional food. CAA grad.
I went to culinary school, CIA in upstate New York.
Wonderful.
So we basically have done a lot of things in the past, and finally we got married. We decided we wanted to do something in the town that we live in.
Wonderful.
Join forces.
That's right. Now, I hear tell that not only do you serve a Mexican cuisine, but it might have a little bit of an Italian twinge to it. Is that right?
Maybe
Yes.
sometimes my Italian comes out once in a while. We pop some Italian food out there once in a while.
Well, that's wonderful. What are some of the most popular items on your menu that when people come in, they tend to veer towards?
Well, I would say definitely, the burritos and the tacos are very popular.
Burritos.
Yes, burritos, very, very popular, very popular. It's like burro means donkey in Spanish, right?
Uh-huh.
Our burritos are extra large. As a matter of fact, we have one called the El Grande here. It's about 4 pounds.
4.5 pounds, yeah.
4 pounds.
Yeah, it's got everything in it.
Well, that's wonderful. That's
It's fun.
wonderful. And now, Joey and Anya, there's two of you, and I think there's two Joey C's in the world, aren't there now?
Yes, we also have one in Stratford, which is on the marina, and the dockside marina in Stratford on the water. And
Beautiful.
hopefully we'll be opening on May 20th while that deck open with lots of seating.
That's wonderful. Now it is Cinco de Mayo, so have you cooked up some specials for their customers today and our hungry audiences who might want to come by and pick something up?
Yeah, both locations are open, actually, ready to rock and roll. We have a lot of special stuff. Anya put some awesome stuff on Facebook.
We have tamales. We have chili rellenos. We have carnitas, roast pork carnitas, and all the tacos,
Nachos
burritos, fresh made guacamole that we make fresh
And
made.
margaritas, too.
Yeah.
Margaritas to go?
Yes, margaritas to go,
We
to
have,
go-go.
we have a margarita kit. It comes with a bottle of premium silver tequila, Cointreau, and our own mix, which is made with organic agave nectar.
Well, that all sounds so
Fresh squeeze. My our employees their hands
Squeezing
are sore
away.
from squeezing.
Now, if we wanted to enjoy this, do we order online or do we give you a call and then pick up? How does that work at Joey Z's?
You can give us a call. The number is 203-301-3299 here in Milford. But you can
Stratford also.
call Stratford. You can go
203.
online. You know what? The best thing is check out our Facebook pages because everything is on there. All the menus and all the specials and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, that's wonderful. I hope that you have a wonderful festive day and happy Cinco de Mayo to you both. Thank you so much for joining us.
And
Arriba.
gift certificates. Whoop, there I am.
Gift certificates.
Yes, we have a special going on. You get a $30 gift certificate for $25. Oh, let me get it in the camera. And a $60 gift certificate for $50. So we've been selling lots of these. You can send them as gifts. Send them to your moms for Mother's Day.
Perfect. What a great
And,
idea.
have some fun.
Well, thank you so much. It was so lovely to see you.
Arriba, arriba.
Lovely to see you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Yes, Joey C's in Milford. It's a roadhouse, and they also have a boathouse in Stratford. How wonderful. Well, they've certainly got me all ready for something, and I think since it's a holiday, I'm going to start with a little cocktail. That's right, I am. I'm going to make what I call a Cinco de Sautee. I'm going to make one right now. So what I've done was I've taken I have a little glass with rocks in it. They're not really rocks, darling. They're ice cubes. But in the gold rush days, they started calling them rocks because they would chip the ice off a big block. And this is something that you could make no matter what age. This is a refreshing cocktail. And I'm going to add to my glass some Sprite. I don't know if I can say a brand name on here, but I'm going to add some of that to my ice, and it fizzes and it bubbles just like so. There we are. That's our base of our drink. It's going to be refreshing, that's for sure. And what I've chosen to do is I'm adding a little bit of orange juice to that for a little splash of color to make it festive. There we are. Doesn't that look refreshing, darling? If I really want to go to town, I'm going to add a little maraschino cherry. I'm going to plop that in on top, and I'll have a little wedge of orange, a little slice there, and I'm going to just put that right over the top. And I've got a straw, which I've made a little frilly, sort of a little, it's a straw piñata. And I'm going to plop that right in there. Darling, doesn't that look delicious? Oh. Yes, it's so good. Oh, I'm going to drink the whole thing right in front of you now. It's delicious. Now, you know, mums, you could put any two liquid items you have in your Frigidaire into a glass and dress it up like this. It'll probably taste just as good. That's right. Now, I have a little craft for everyone to do today because we are celebrating Cinco de Mayo and we need a piñata. But you don't have to go to the store to buy one, darling. No, you can make one right at home. That's right. What I'm going to start with is I need a bag, a lunch bag. I'm not using them these days, so with that I have some treats, some little candies there. I have some tape. I have my scissors, my hole punch, so I'm sure you all have at your leisure, and I have some tissue paper, various sizes. So what I'm going to do, darling, is I want you to see this. I'm going to put my bag right here. I've started my bag with just some tissue paper to give it the shape. We're not going to stay that way, but for now. And I have one small sheet of tissue paper, and I'm going to sit my bag right on it. And I'm going to wrap the bottom of the bag as though I'm doing a Christmas gift. That's right. I have you could use a glue stick with this. You could use a little Elmer's glue stick would do, but I like to use tape because I don't have a lot of time to show you this project. So I'm working my hands as fast as I can. There we go. And I'm going to finish off the bottom of the bag. That's what I'm doing here. And I've done a rather messy job, but you get the idea. You've dressed the bottom of the bag because the bottom has to look as festive and lovely as the top, right? Well, you bottoms and tops out there, you know what I mean, don't you, love? So now what I've done is I've taken more of my various colored tissue paper and I've cut them into 2-inch strips. And you see it, you can envision what the whole paper looked like, but I've layered them in various colors, and I fold it in half, and I fold it in half again, and I fold it in half again. And then I start trimming those up, darling, right? I have here, and I just make little cuts, just every so and so, maybe like 1/4 of an inch. I've made my little cuts, and I have one already done here. There we have it. And then we end up having these lovely little fringy pieces of paper there. You see it? Isn't it lovely? Now I'm going to set my bag here, and I'm going to start layering these little fringies along the bag is what I'm going to do. So you see I have my blue at the bottom, and then I just run this around the entire bag, and I've made it's like a little dress. That's right, it's like a little dress. Little dress for my bag. Now I have one that I've been working on for a little bit, darling. I want to show that one to you. Here it is. You see how lovely that comes? Yes, it was a little bit lovelier. There we are. And you finish your fringe. You take out the extra paper that you've placed in it, and then you pour in all your little candy treats. That's right. In you go. In you go, your little Hershey Kiss. In you go, your little piece of Tyrone. In you go, your High Chew, and all your little cousins. They're all going to go in the bag. And then we're going to tape along the top of the bag. That's what we're doing. We're taping along the top. And then we use our hole punch. And we put in a hole right in the center. You see that? And then into that center, we're going to put some string, and we're going to hang that high from our ceiling or maybe inside of a door frame. And then we're going to let the little kitties have at it with a long stick. I'm sure you have one of their toys or something that will break that bag in half. And at the very least, if you can't figure out how to break it with a long stick, just have them tear into it and find all the little treats that are inside. It's a party, darling. Now, you could get very fancy with this by putting in some glitter or some confetti, but I'm sure your mum won't appreciate it if you make quite a mess of her house. That's right. She probably won't. Now, the piñata started in the 14th century in Italy, and it was brought over to Mexico, and it's been there ever since. And we have some comments here from, we have the jury. It says, "Whoa, that's quite a sombrero." Or maybe you are having a comment to my little cocktail that I've concocted. That's right. Now, I wanted to go into our Dick and Jane story because they have quite a story, But before we do that, I have a very special little message from Pantachino Productions. We'll be right back.
I caught Mommy and Daddy doing it. They were listening to my podcasts. Pantachino Podcasts. Ridiculously entertaining mini musicals for everyone. Listen now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
That's right, darling. Pantachino Podcast, but we're back. Now, if you remember, Dick and Jane invaded my studio last week. They did. I sent them off on a wonderful trip to Mexico, I did. So what we're going to do is we're going to join them now in Mexico. Let's go to Mexico and have a look at Dick and Jane. Now, there we go. Where are they? Come on in, darlings. There they are. Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't look like Mexico to me.
It's not Mexico! You sent us to the Swiss Alps!
I'm really not sure it's the Alps.
Well, it's like the Alps, whatever it is!
Well, is it cold there?
Cold? Is it cold?
It's cold.
I'm freezing my little plastic head off! Get me out of here!
Well, I'm certainly sure that I don't know how to get you out of there, darling. But it does look quite inviting, that background.
Inviting? You think this is inviting?
It's cold.
Well, to me, it looks like you're there inside a lovely Christmas card.
It's not lovely! I'd rather be in a Cinco de Mayo card!
I don't think they make Cinco de Mayo cards.
Listen, Victoria, get us out of here and back to our book!
I know how you could get out. I have an idea. Yodel.
Yodel?
Yodel-ee-oo, yodel-ee-oo.
Oh, that's so lovely. It's like a scene from Heidi.
It's not lovely and I'm not the Swiss Miss!
You're not a Swiss Miss. You're a Swiss dismiss.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Now, Dick, Jane, please. I know how to stop all this foolishness.
How?
Like this. Oh, Dick and Jane, you have to love them. I don't know how I feel about Jane, though. I really don't. Now, friends, I want you to thank you for coming to our little party today. I do. I want you to remember Pantachino and the Great Give, a lovely event happening all day today and all through tomorrow as well. I want you to. I have a little shout out. I've gotten a photograph from some of our fans out there who have just received their little Victoria Sautee t-shirts and their social distancing. Isn't that lovely? But they're enjoying their t-shirts nonetheless. Thanks for sending this in. If you make a piñata or one of my little cocktails today or celebrate Cinco de Mayo in any way, I want you to send in your pictures so I can show them to our friends. Now, I want you to be good. I want you to stay inside. I want you to be kind to each other. That's right. Be kind. I'll see you Thursday with a brand new show. Goodbye.
If you're stuck inside and you need some fun, she's the grande dame of getting it done. With Victoria Sautee.
How do you turn this off? I never can figure it out.